Hello friends, it's been a while. This is a vlog. I always say welcome back to Amanda's Bookish Adventures because it's a vlog and not like a sit down wrap up or TBR or a book haul. I'm just gonna say welcome back. And I'm very tired. It's Orilium. It's the 31st of March. Tomorrow is April and I am off April 1st and April 2nd. I go back to work on Friday and then I'm off for 2 more days and then I work. So I'm gonna kind of put from the 1st to the 5th as a vlog. Some might be small, some might be big, but I want to talk about 2 classes. I have not decided my career. I can do demonologist, but there's another one I want to keep my eye on. Whatever I finish that qualifies for those 2 careers, I'll talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're gonna do it, but I really don't want to be a demonologist, but I will prioritize classes for both, but I want to finish the entire classes. So the 2 classes I'm going to start with, there is one that I could get done. I have to say I'm going to be at a car dealership tomorrow, so this one I got off of Libby. Psychics and Divination. The word time, I don't know if I read this for Orilium. I maybe for the older readathon I could have, but A Wrinkle in Time, I got the graphic novel off of Libby and I can definitely read that while we're at the dealership looking at cars and test driving cars when I'm not in the car. So A Wrinkle in Time, so Psychics and Divination definitely can get done tomorrow. Another one is Demonology. We can start this one. The Keeper of Magical Things. Okay, and we have Spells and Incantation. Currently on a best-selling list. And I did check today while I was at lunch at work. This is either slot 2 or slot 4 on the list. I screenshotted it because the other book that's like apart, I could read for this too. So we have The Sun and the Star Maker by Rachel Griffin. Now I could read either one of these. I don't know which one I'm going to start. I think realistically A Wrinkle in Time is what is realistic. Other than Orilium, I want to read 30 books in 30 days to boost my reading March. I only read 7 things and they were all, sorry, I'm so tired and I'm not filming this clip again, so excuse me. I want to prioritize in the month of April physical TBR. I will be working a lot, but I want to prioritize at least trying to read things when I get home, digital too. So if I can at least get 10 physical books read this month, I will be very happy. Overall, I do want to read the 30 things. I also want to read stuff that's been sitting on my Kindle for a very long time. So those are the 3 classes we're going to start with. I don't know if I've said this. I'm off tomorrow and the next day. I work Friday and then I'm off Saturday and Sunday. Sunday is when I'm ending the vlog. So by Sunday, I'd at least like to have a couple things read for Orilium just to start, like, very good. I'd like to at least have 5 things finished. So A Wrinkle in Time will work. I'd like to get some shorts up. I have 3 videos going up, book hauls. I was gonna film a TBR for this. I ran out of time. Plus I had to film other videos that needed to go out for Bookmas. We'll see if I can finish Bookmas this year. God willing, I'm gonna try, but I'll be happy to get 15 videos for Bookmas out. But I will talk to you tomorrow. Like I said, I'll read A Wrinkle in Time at the dealer, or even on the way to the dealer because I'm not driving. And it's the graphic novel, so that's 1 class done. I can come back, film the short for it, and post it because I want to keep my shorts up. That's where I get my most views. So I'll definitely talk to you tomorrow. I'm excited for Orilium. I will not be starting any sprints tonight. I'll probably find sprints tomorrow. We'll see how long I'm at the dealer. But I'm so excited to be back. So I have some reading updates. I finished A Wrinkle in Time. So my Psychics and Divination class is covered because it has time in the title. I'm going to be honest, I gave it 3 stars. I have hated A Wrinkle in Time since I was a child. I really shouldn't have forced myself to read it, but I'll give a little synopsis. It's about Meg. And she comes from a really intelligent family. She has twin brothers who are intelligent. Her parents are intelligent, and she has intelligence too, but she's angry because of her father's disappearance. So her younger brother, who was a baby when her father died, Charlie Wallace, the graphic novel doesn't explain everything, but I know so much from the movie. He makes friends with these beings from another world, and they travel with a friend from school, or not a friend, someone she meets, she kind of knows from school, Calvin, and they go to save her father, and they travel different dimensions. They get on this world where it's strictly you can't be different, you have to be the same, or it will come and get you. And it's this big thing of finding the father and everything else and dealing with that. The movie used to terrify me as a kid. The original, I have not watched the Disney movie because I'm not gonna rewatch something that like absolutely terrified me as a child. I should. I think it might be better. I knew I wasn't gonna go into it liking it, but I did read it. I did come home from the car dealership very long. I didn't even finish A Wrinkle in Time. Longest graphic novel ever because I didn't want to read it because I knew I wasn't going to like it. But I gave it 3 stars. The artwork was good. I will say that. I read My Love Story with Yamada Volume 2, which actually can work for. I know I'll probably be saying these class names wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at that. It's, I think, artistry. The D roll for a series, and like I said, I rolled a 2 when I did the dice roll. I could count it. I don't know if I am at this moment. At the end of April, if I have not read a sequel, a second in a series, then I will count it. But for now, I'm not going to. It just kind of makes it easier. But let's dive in. I want to read this, but I will probably end up reading My Love Story with Yamada level 99 volume 3 tomorrow because my hold is going to go away with that. So I'd like to read it before it disappears. That will be like 3 things read, and then I can get somewhat into this because I go to work on Friday and I'm planning to listen to the audiobook Freaky Friday for the other class. It's very short, 3 hours. I think I can do it. And then that's another class checked off. But Demonology class, Houses on the Cover. So The Keeper of Magical Things by Julie Lang. Certainty Bulrush wants to be useful. To the guild of mages that took her in as a novice. To the little brother who depends on her, and to whomever else she can help. Unfortunately, her tepid magic hasn't proven much use to anyone. When Certainty has the chance to earn her magehood via a strangely straightforward assignment, she takes it. Never mind that she has to work with the mage Aurelia, the brilliant, unfairly attractive overachiever, who's managed to alienate everyone around her. The two must transport minor magical artifacts somewhere safe, Shelpling, the dullest, least magical village around. There they must fix up an old warehouse, separate the gossipy teapots from the kind of flaming swords, corral an unruly little cat dragon who's tagged along, and above all, avoid complications. The guild's uneasy relationship with the citizens is at a tipping point, and the last thing needed is a magical incident. Still, as mage and novice come to know Shepling residents and each other, they realize the guild's hoarding magic might do more good being shared. Friendships blossom while Certainty and Aurelia work to make Shepling the haven it could be, but magic is fickle at attraction, and it might spell trouble. So this will be like the first physical read that I would like to get finished for the month. I'm happy that I finished 2 digital. I finished 1 class. I technically, like I said, I could have possibly finished another. We'll see. I'll probably start reading in the morning. I'll read probably a manga because I have My Love Story Yamada level 99 Yamada 3 because I'd like to get that read before the hold disappears. And then I'll dive into this, see how far I can get without watching TV or anything. But I am drained. I'm just gonna watch some TV and then probably go to bed because it's 8:40 and I feel like I'm 1,000 years old because mentally, car dealership, a lot of stress, draining. but everything worked out. So I will talk to you tomorrow, and hopefully Orilium is going great. It was sad to miss Sprints, but like I said, I was gone all day, and I could rewatch them tomorrow when I get up. I have some reading updates for you. I did get 10 pages into The Keeper of the Magical Things by Julie Bung. I don't know if I'm not in the mood for this. It sounds cozy, but all I wanted when I was reading this, I wanted to play on my phone, so I had to swap books. And the funny thing about the swap of books is that last month I couldn't even finish a page of it, maybe because of the depression, but it definitely works for the demonology class. I have finished it. 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. So we finished demonology today, or I finished demonology, but let's read the description of this. Kalia has always had trouble dealing with people. Thankfully, as a librarian of the Great Library of Asalim, she and her assistant Kaz, a magical sentinel spider plant, have spent the last decade sequestering among the entire's most precious spellbooks, preserving the magic for the city's elite. When a revolution begins and the library goes up in flames, she and Kaz flee with all the spellbooks they can carry, head to a remote island Kalia never thought she'd see again, her childhood home. Taking refuge there, Kalia discovers, much to her dismay, a nosy and a very handsome neighbor who can't take a hint and keeps showing up day after day to make sure she's never fed and to help fix up her new home in the need of a new income. Kalia identifies some things that even if the bakery in town doesn't have jam. With the help of an old recipe book her parents left her and a bit of illegal magic, her cottage garden is soon covered in ripe berries, but magic can do more harm than make a life sweeter. So Kalia risks the consequences of using unsanctioned spells and opens the island's first ever much needed secret spell shop. So Kalia and Kaz have spent their entire time in the library. So when the revolution hits, she packed as much as she could and got her and Kaz out of there. The only place she could go was her childhood home that her parents have left. So she meets Lauren again. She barely remembers him. He remembers her from childhood before her parents moved out of off the island. It's a budding slow romance. It's a cozy, even though the romance is there, it's very background. It's a cozy fantasy. We have magical creatures, these spell shops, a sentinel plant she talks to, and you see the warm relationship. You see Kalia's loss with her parents, trying to fit into a society, because when she was in the library, it was only Kaz she talked to. She had no one. She didn't really need anyone. If you requested food, they'd bring it up. She only left the library a couple times when she got the position. I loved it to my very core. I don't know why I could not last month finish it or even read the full page. I read like the first paragraph, I think. So demonology is done. And I want to read the second book because I have the second book, and like I said earlier, that could work for our fishery D6 because I got a second series, and the second book is a series. It's the second one, and I do want to read it. We'll see where my reading mood goes. But at work tomorrow, I'm going to finish the class in subscription. The prompt is a book that has the day of the week in the title. Like I said earlier, I got the audiobook for Freaky Friday, and I'm going to be reading that. I want to keep reading this, but I'm not going to force myself. I'd like to get halfway. I do think it's just the reading mood, but I want to finish 30 books in 30 days, so I'm going to follow my reading mood, follow the prompts the best I can, and hopefully finish Orilium and reading 30 books in 30 days. So I will talk to you after work. If I finish Freaky Friday, I could technically read something else, maybe not for Orilium, but I do have a long lunch. If I finish the audio book before the lunch, I can browse what I have on my Kindle app. So sometime tomorrow, hopefully I've read finish Freaky Friday if I had to pick up the other thing. Then I will choose what class I'm going to read for the night, and I might be talking to you at night again because I'm tired, so I'll probably take a nap after work. And I do have to go to bed. So, love this, and I'm glad the demonology prompt had that because that's the only other book I could have thought of. Had her house on the cover. I have some reading updates. So I finished Freaky Friday on work on Friday. It is Saturday the 4th. I had to come home and decompress, but I did finish Freaky Friday, and that was for inscription. The prompt was day of the week in the title, and it was Freaky Friday. So I gave it a 3 stars. It's about Annabelle trading places with her mom, and if you've seen the Disney movie, it is like that, but this was written in 1972. So Annabelle's dad is there, her brother's there. They were all there. The dad is dead in the movie, but it was interesting take to see what was different. I enjoyed the narration. There's a whole series of the family like switching places. I actually really kind of want to, if the Libby has the rest of if they're all on audiobooks, I don't think I'd go out of my way to read them anywhere else. I did enjoy it, but it was a good narration. Older, different views, but enjoyable nonetheless. So I had that class done. I did read My Love Story Yamada 3 as well, and I gave that 4 stars. It's pretty the anime pretty much follows the manga really well. I am enjoying it, but I think I enjoyed the anime a bit better. I don't know why. It could just be because different it was so new when I read it or watched it, and then when I read it it's like going back and rereading it. Maybe if I had some distance. But overall I'm having fun reading those volumes, but that was the last volume I had on Libby, the Libby app. So there is that, and then I also got 25 pages of The Enchanted Greenhouse last night. And I am going to use it for the artificery class, D6 roll, and I got a 2. And it is a second in the series. I do plan on picking it up soon. I'm just kind of been watching TV and I had to do some errands. But I think I'll get into this a little bit. I'm hoping to at least get halfway or finish it tonight. But let's read the description of this book. It's a standalone series, which is nice, but this character was brought up in the first book. Elsewhere in the Empire, on a remote island, brimming with singing flowers, honey cakes, and honeyed love, Tolu Perna broke the law because she was lonely. She cast a spell and created a magical sentient spider plant, Kaz from Book 1. As a punishment, she was turned into a wooden statue and tucked away in an alcove in the north reading room of the Great Library of Elysium. This should have been the end of her story, yet one day, Turlu wakes up in the cold of winter on a nearly deserted island full of hundreds of magical greenhouses. She's starving and freezing, and the only human on the island is a grumpy gardener. To her surprise, he offers Tula a place to sleep, clean clothes, and freshly baked honey cakes. At least until she's ready to sail home. But Tula doesn't want to return home. And as she grows closer with the unwittingly charming gardener, my alarm went off. So I'm just going to finish reading the description. But I have to find out where I was. Alright, I was right here. But Turilla doesn't want to return home. And as she grows closest with the unwitted, charming gardener Yarrow, she learns that the magic that sustains the greenhouses is failing and causing the death of everything within them. Turnlow knows she must help even if it means breaking the law again. This time, though, she isn't alone. Assisted by Yarrow and the sentient Rose, Turlow must unravel the secrets of a long-dead sorcerer if she wants to save the island and have a fresh chance at happiness and love. Funny, kind, and forgiving is The Enchanted Greenhouse. Is a story about giving yourself second chances to others and yourself. So like I said, she created Kaz because she was talked in the first book about how Kaz was created and her sentence was she was turned into a wooden statue. So I'm at the bit where she wakes up on the island. I don't know how she got to the island of greenhouses. They talked about that too. But I did not want to fall asleep, but I was still, by the time I picked this up after I watched TV from my home, it was like 9 o'clock. And I was like, oh, I'm going to read. I'm going to read. I made 25 pages. I was enjoying it. I was loving it. So I do hope to have that one finished today as well. But because I finished those two things yesterday, I'm up to 5 books read. So 5 out of 30. We're going strong with that challenge. And I'm going really strong with the classes too, because if I finish this in this reading blog, I've read the classes I've took, let's say it like that. Demonology would be done. Inscription is done. Poison and divination is done. So that would be 4 classes out of all of them. And that's actually a pretty good first vlog if I can finish 4 classes. And overall, I've had fun. And 2 physical books from not reading any last month, that's really big as well. If I finish this, I need to read more pages in Keeper of Magical Things. I just want to slowly, like I said, keep cracking down. I'm not going to force myself and slump, but I'd like to at least get to 40 pages in that, but I want to finish this, and this will be my main priority for today. So when I finish it or get halfway and want to discuss, I'll update you in a bit. So it is Sunday night, April 5th, and I'm ending the vlog, but I want to talk about the last reading updates I have for this vlog. So I read 150, I did finish this today, but I read 154 pages of this last night before I wrap that up. I read volume 5 of the Bride of the Barrier Master, and I gave that 4 stars. It's about Hannah. She marries the matriarch of their family for the pillars. I have a whole thing about it in like a wrap up. You won't see it till December. And she was always the weak twin. She gets in a contracted marriage to get out of her family, learns more information about her family and her siblings, and falls in love with her contracted husband slowly. But it's good. Enjoy it overall. So I gave that 4 stars. Let's talk about this. I'm crying. Like, I should have updated you after I finished it because I had legit tears, but like, even talking about this chokes me up. Taylor's story. I love that it was in a greenhouse. It made so much sense from the first book to bring her in as the second character. Her trying to fix the greenhouses, her working with sentient plants, and her having so much fixing the greenhouses and knowing she could be like a statue again and on this island with Yarrow and slowly developing, and he's trying to take care of her. And when you learn why everything was on him and the relationship and the family issues and the plants and the friend, this is an amazing series, and I don't know why I have put it off for so long. And the way it like wrapped up, like the ending, I'm hoping. I know the third book does not come out in July, but July is so far away. Maybe we can early release. Can we wrap it up? Like, can we get closer to July? I want to read the third book so badly. The character Mellow and her getting a plant from the greenhouse. Basically, if you've read this book, so far each book has a theme of a sentient plant, and seeing how the next character in the third book gets her plant and even hints of her story and like interact, it's amazing. And I don't want to be spoilery, but like, I kind of want to like, I would kill for a novella, because what I wanted like from the start of this book and to get that at the end, and it's amazing. Novella, like we could have 2.2 novella. But it was interesting too because yes, we did meet the character for the main female lead, we did see the love interest for her as well, just a little bit, just like a small little scene. This intrigues me because, well, all these women are dealing with like different parts, like two librarians. This is a new character, but the love interest from that one is a person from Elysium, the city that it's all connected to. The Great Library in Elysium is where the city of the Great Library was. So I'm intrigued by that, but I don't want this series to end. I don't want book 3 to be the end of the series. It is so amazing because, like, even book 1, we have that captain who, if you've read book 1, like the captain from another boat, which I thought would be like the love interest for the 4th one. Maybe we just need novellas, like of side characters. I could do like a whole book of novellas for this series. I think it would be so cool to learn where everyone or know about the plants, how the plants from the greenhouse, everything else. I think it would be amazing. Novella about Kaz. All right. So because I finished that book, that's artificially done. That class is done. So I finished 4 classes in 5 days. And on top of that all, that's 7 things I've read. So 7 things is what I read just for 5 days. But that's all I read for the, as I've said repeatedly, that's all I read for the month of March. And I read no physical reads in the month of March. So to have 2 physical reads and by the same author, that is really good. And I still need to pick back The Keeper of Magical Things. Maybe I'll move it towards May TBR, see how I feel in a couple days when I have a couple days off. So that is it for this vlog. And I'm going to start the next vlog right after this. But if you've read any of these books, let me know. If you were doing Orilium, I'd love to see how your first couple of days were. Let me know down below. And I'm hoping you guys have a good Orilium.